I wasn't gonna bother reviewing this one, but look, here it is. This is Excellent Men Archives number 4. And don't worry, you haven't missed issue 2 and 3. I'll review them later in the week. There is just some silliness with this 4-issue mini-series. The first 3 issues, they are all about Legend. They are his first appearance. And then, issue 4, instead, it's an issue all about Mr. Magnets. And this story predates the Legend one in Excellent Men Archives 1, 2 and 3. This is also the story of how Dr. X met Legend's mum, so that is why it's slightly relevant. I just didn't know why they didn't have this be number 1, and 2, 3 and 4 be the Legend story. The good news is, Bill son of a bitch, he is not involved. And the bad news is, Christopher Clairvoyant still is. And this time he has got some rather uninspired artwork by David Cockburn. To be completely honest with you, David Cockburn, he has never really bowled us over as an artist. He seems very pedestrian and very middle of the road. He's like the Phil Collins of comic book artists. Except I hate Phil Collins, so probably not him. We start off with some clairvoyantian dirge, with Cyclist being humbled by Storms. I feel sorry for Storms, I really do. She can be a good character, but she is forever marred by the feverish fan-wanking that Christopher Clairvoyant always puts into her. She is always the best character in the room. She's always the most powerful character. She's always the most beautiful character. She's always correct in everything she says. And here, she is basically telling Cyclist to grow up. And then Cyclist, he gets to be written really terribly. He gets to be written as a dick, just so that Clairvoyant can have Storms shut him down and shit. And even look at this, right, the greeting. The characters greeting each other, it's still writing up Storms. That is a magnificent sunset, Storms. Did you use your weather powers to arrange it? We get it, Christopher. You're madly in love with Storms. Get over it, you big stupid Scottish man, baby, and just have them say hello like a normal person would. Now we have got all that rubbish out of the way, the story actually gets better for a few pages. The story, it is a flashback when Dr. X first met Legend's mum, and definitely more importantly, when Dr. X first met Mr. Magnets. This is a reprint, by the way. Excellent Men Archives was reprints. I would have preferred if they had just cut this frame and sequence out and presented just the flashback. Like, get rid of the first 4 pages and start here. Chop this bit off the top off, put the title and credits up there, do a little bit of editing of the captions, and get rid of whatever's at the back, obviously, and it would probably read better. It's silly to reprint a story that's from years ago that in and of itself is just packaging a flashback. We're effectively having a flashback within a flashback. But these 2 or 3 pages, they are decent. How Dr. X met Mr. Magnets, how he met Legend's mum, and how he helped cure Legend's mum's psychological problems. Advert there, and another one. Quadruple pages of adverts here. Gotta love the adverts, they're always the best characters. So he helps cure her, and look, her greatest fear, it's Nathan Van Scribbler. Comic Artist Pro Secrets, Nathan Van Scribbler. massive Nazi artist who draws every character ever as Hitler. And you can see that the thing she is most afraid of is Skyver Frog. He's a little Indiegogo Nazi comic that only raised like $15. Nazi dollars as well, probably. Well, she's afraid of Cyber Frog. She's afraid that one day it might actually be released, and then she won't be able to whinge about how it's still not being released. The story goes shockingly downhill here, in a classic clairvoyantian way. Apparently, she just happens to know the secret location for hidden Nazi gold. So Hydra, who in continuity didn't even exist back then, they attack and they capture her. So Dr. X and Mr. Magnet, they discover that they are both mutants. So they band together and attack Hydra's base to free her. And there is Baron Hydra, because Clairvoyant loved doing this. Just grabbing characters from other books and forcing them into Excellent Men lore. Hey, let's take Nick Fury's arch enemy and make him now have an integral part in Dr. X and Mr. Magnet's backstory. Also, Nazi gold. Nazi fucking gold. It's the least inspired idea ever. And if you're wondering what film Christopher Clairvoyant had saw this week and was written off, it was Indiana Jones #1. So, blah, 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 they fight Hydra and they free the girl. And then Mr. Magnet, he defeats and utterly humiliates Baron Hydra with ease. And Baron Hydra, he swears he will have his revenge on Mr. Magnet one day. And neither character has ever fought or the other again. So we end with Dr. X presumably impregnating the woman with his mutant spunk, and no comic will be complete without some ugly Bill son of a bitch crap to ruin it. There is Legend, ugly. There is Legend fighting the Excellent Men, ugly. There is some shit with Dr. X and Wolf's Girl, ugly. And finally, David Cockburn to wash the bad taste out of your mouth. Not ugly. Well, there were 3 pages where it was good, wasn't there? That's pretty good rates for a Clairvoyant story. I didn't know why they bothered with this reprint, especially after the Legend story, which reiterates most of the relevant bits of this story in that. But it is technically better than the first 3 issues. I rate it 7 thumbs up.